What's up, everyone? Welcome to Million Dollar Seller. This is going to be a fun episode. We're going to talk about leaving corporate. And I know a lot of you listening out there are thinking about it. Who hasn't thought about that shit? Now's a great time to leave. It's always a good time to leave. I'm going to share a little bit about my experience leaving corporate and what I've learned over the last couple of years. But listen, if you're secretly Googling how to quit your 9-to-5, this episode's your sign. Because leaving corporate isn't just about walking away from that paycheck. It's really about walking towards your purpose. It's really about walking towards your power and the freedom to build something that you actually love and build something that's yours. How special to build something that you love, something that is yours, and something on your own terms. How amazing. Is it hard? Of course. It's not as easy as people might show it to be. But here's the thing I do know. If you keep going, you don't stop, you hit the mark. You hit the mark. I help people all the time leave their jobs or prepare to leave their jobs. I work with a lot of people about that shit because that's part of my story. I left my job in 2023, May. Been going at this for over a couple years now. And I left the system. And for a couple years, I've been figuring out my life. I've been rewiring myself to be a total creator and entrepreneur. And it's been a challenge. But if you keep showing up and you keep believing in yourself and you keep taking the steps, you can rewire your life. You can rewire this trap that we're all built in. We're all built to go into the corporate trap. Period. We're built to follow the rules, and it's ingrained in us. And it's difficult to break free, but it's rewarding to do it. And it's very exhilarating. It's just fun. It's hard, but it's fun. And remember, the upside's there too. The universe rewards the brave. So the braver you are, the more the universe rewards you. And how magical is that? So listen, you don't need a perfect plan to leave. You just need to believe that you're made for more, and you need to just do it. Listen, I set myself up to do it. So I set myself up financially, logistically, all of those things to take the leap. Capricorn, I'm practical. I didn't just leave and be like, I have $5 to my name. I didn't do that. You can do as whatever you see fit. But I'll tell you this too. You can always go back to get a job. You can always go back to work. That's always an option. Is it the best option? No, but you can. So let's talk about the corporate trap first. I want to talk about the corporate trap. There's a lot of traps. We call it the matrix. It's called the matrix, right? There's a lot of traps that we are built into, that we're just programmed to buy into. It's by design. Come on. You have to believe that. I mean, these things are just traps that keep us in fear and keep us in line, if you will. So there's an identity crisis going on. There's a revolution going on, as I call it, with corporate world. And why do people feel stuck? I'll tell you why. It's because we're programmed, right? Like I said, we're programmed to be there. But there's a lot of things, you call it the drugs, that keep you in this space. Good money, health insurance, PTO, 401k, all of these things that keep you kind of looped in, even though you're miserable. And you know it. You're miserable. But you can break free of all of that. And the best thing I can tell you is to start. Even if you don't want to quit, start doing some side projects. Start doing some side hustles. Start dabbling in things you love and experiment. When I did a lot of that. Like, I started this journey in really 2017 it was like a year after I quit drinking alcohol because I wanted to share my story. And that's how I started my first blog. And then that evolved into doing some groups and some coaching, into YouTube, into social media, into a podcast, into eventually leaving. So there's a way to kind of dabble in some stuff. And if you don't want to just rip off the Band-Aid and do it, or you don't have the idea, you'll get more clear on the idea if you kind of dip a toe in. So dip a toe. You can dip the whole foot in. You can take that leap. That is your call. It depends on what you feel the need to do, right? So there's a lot of burnout going on in the golden handcuffs, like we like to call it. The paycheck just isn't worth it. The paycheck is not worth it. And I'm going to tell you, I left a job that paid me a lot of money. I made $1 million in my pocket at this job over 9 years. And I was making, $200,000 a year. I worked my way up. So leaving that, it's hard. Like, can you imagine walking away from that? But it was time. I was burnt out. It wasn't a right fit anymore. I just was ready for more. We'll leave it at that. Like the mental shift. Let's talk about the mental shift you have to make too. You have to go from employee to entrepreneur. I prefer actually employee to CEO because the CEO thinks more vision. Entrepreneur sometimes is just an employee. Depends on what you have to get that focus down. But shifting from an employee to an entrepreneur is a challenge. You're not showing up for anyone but yourself. No one's telling you what to do. That's the hard part, right? You have to show up and do it. So you have to be disciplined. You have to have a vision. Once you keep your eye on the vision and you get really clear, it's easier. You have to remember your why and build something that you love. Build something that you're passionate about. It's more than passion, though. You have to check more boxes than passion. But let me tell you a story. I was working with one of my clients. I love all my clients. I just love them all. And I was working with this girl once, and she is not feeling fulfilled in her job. And we were working she hired me, right? And we were working on the sidelines to really create. And I helped shift her beliefs. And that's something I'm really good at. I love to shift the beliefs of what's possible and expand one's thinking. And I was like, why don't you try this? And just let me give you some homework. And each week we gave a little bit of homework. Okay, I want you to, reach out to 10 people you want to help. Get them on a call. She started to, and she started to make progress. And then she started to get clear on what she wanted. And she's like, wait, I can do this. And after 6 months, she ended up leaving her job and is doing it full time now. And I helped her scale and grow her business. And the reason for that is it's not that hard. It just takes passion, consistency, and being fed up with where you're at. Listen, there's more to life than not going for what you can't stop thinking about. There's more to life than not going for your dreams. You have to go for it. If you think about it, you have to go for it. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. So remember that. You can do it. If you need some help, you know how to get a hold of me. I work with entrepreneurs. I work with people in this space all the time. I will be your guy. I will help you get there. I will help you build. I'll help you make money. With that said, if you are an entrepreneur and you're listening to this, I have an amazing master's class. I'm going to link it in here. It's how to sell naturally, how to sell confidently, how to sell authentically, not the sleazy way. The only way is the right way. The only way is the authentic way. So check out that link on how to sell, because selling is freedom. And obviously this is a sales business podcast. So if you're listening to it, you'll really love this. I put a lot of love into it. But check out my master's class. It's free and it's amazing. So let's talk about what you need to actually start. Okay. What you need to actually start if you want to leave your corporate job or start a business or go hard with your business. You don't need a perfect website. You don't need 100,000 followers. You don't even need an LLC. You just don't. People think of all these things they think they need. You don't need any of that. All you need is a clear offer, problem-solving message, and some belief and some confidence in the value that you can provide and the solution to someone's problem. It's easy. You just have to know that you don't need any of these fancy things. And if you want to start, you can start. I've started a lot of business adventures just by saying, hey, I have this problem. You have this problem. Let me help you solve it. It's typically around business or sales. Let me help you. I didn't have a product build. I didn't have a framework. I have the frameworks. I have the sales skills, but you know what? I didn't have much to start. I just did it. So just start doing stuff and you'll be like, oh my God, that wasn't that bad. And then just wash, rinse, repeat. And you perfect with time. That's the thing is it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You're always going to be making changes. You're always going to be making iterations. That's it. And I want you to remember these 4 things. This is a lot of the stuff that I teach in my work, in my business. I want you to remember these 4 things. It's identity. You're shifting your identity. Number 1. Number 2 is strategy. Number 3 is skill. Number 4 is execution. So that really goes down to identity. Who are you becoming, right? Shifting your identity. The next part is strategy, like what to do. Skills is the third. That's just perfecting our skill set, right? My skill set is business, growth, sales. And then the last part, execution, is just doing it, doing shit. That's it. All of the pillars that I teach in my business. Let me give you some signs that you're ready to leap, okay? I'm going to give you some signs that you're ready to leap. You're constantly dreaming of more. You're constantly thinking about what you could be doing differently, what you should be doing. You're burnt out. You're tired. You don't have joy. We work so much. There should be a component of joy, right? You should be happy, joyful doing these things. You're tired of playing small. You're tired of being underpaid. You feel pulled to help people. Business, entrepreneurship, serving. You're not just trying to perform tasks. You're not just there to do admin shit. You have a bigger vision. You want to help people. And then last, you're already showing up like a CEO. You're already showing up like a boss. Even in your current job, you're a leader. Man, you're a leader. Those are some signs that you're ready to leap. Once again, you need some help, DM me. So let me give you some steps to leave corporate and start strong, okay? Make sure you hit this follow button. I can't believe I didn't ask. Shame on me. Hit the follow button. Follow this podcast, please. Thank you. Real steps to leave corporate. Build while you're still employed. Create a plan. Make a bridge plan. How can I get here? What's the timeline? Where do I need to sit at to feel comfortable leaving? Knowing that it will never feel comfortable. Know that. It will never feel comfortable. You just have to do it. Start selling one-on-ones before you scale, right? This is great market research. This is great analysis on what you can do, right? Focus on conversations first. Have conversations with people. Maybe find out what their problems are that align with what you can offer them and sell them. And then last, get into the right rooms. Sometimes you just got to get into the right rooms, get a mentor, get a community. Once again, I do both. I'm a mentor and I have a community. Not me trying to sell you stuff, but I'm just saying it's easier to do when you have someone that can guide you and people that get you. We get you. If you want to join my community, DM me. I would love to have you. But listen, you can do anything you think about. And at the end of the day, life is short to not go for your dreams and to build something that you love and to build something that's yours. You're either going to build something for someone else or you're going to build your own stuff. And if you're listening to this, I hope it resonates with you. And when I left corporate, it was exciting and it was scary. And I had to spend some time grieving the loss, because it felt like I was losing something, but I was actually gaining a lot. I was gaining my own vision. I was gaining my freedom with my time. I was gaining all these amazing things. And it will take time. It'll take time to shift that identity. It'll take time to become someone new. But give yourself credit. Give yourself space. But don't not go for it. The last thing you want to do is not go for it. I can't say it any better than that. Like, you don't want to get to the end of your life and be like, I wish I would have done this. No, you don't want to live like that. If you're listening to this, you don't want to live like that. So I'm glad you tuned in. There's more to life than being a corporate employee. And if you're in a corporate job and you love it, kudos. I loved my corporate job too. So it's no shade there. It's just once you are in something and you learn a lot of skills and you have this desire. I had these things. I had these desires. That's why I'm talking about it. I had the desire for more. I had the desire to serve. I had the desire to lead on my own terms. That's why I have my own business. But I did like my corporate job. I did. I wouldn't have learned the skills I had without it. I wouldn't have made the money I made without it. Like, I wouldn't have gotten to where I got without my corporate job. It served its time and I'm grateful for it. So you can look at that as your stepping stone as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, hit the follow button. Share this with someone that may need to hear it. And baby, you got this. You got this.